There are many stories of reincarnation, and many of them are compelling, provoking both curiosity and skepticism. Among these, the case of Dorothy Eady, who would later become known as Seti, continues to mystify people and raise difficult questions. Dorothy Eady was born in 1904 in London. When she was just 3 years old, tragedy struck when she fell down a flight of stairs. The severity of her injuries was such that she was not expected to survive. Shortly afterwards, to her parents' horror, she was pronounced dead by the doctor who had been called to treat her. But then something extraordinary happened. The 3-year-old Dorothy woke up. She had not died after all, and when she eventually recovered, her parents noticed something unusual. She appeared to speak with a different accent. Even more strangely, she repeatedly begged her parents to take her home. By home, she did not mean London. Instead, she pointed to Egypt, insisting that it was where she truly belonged. Still quite young, Dorothy accompanied her parents to the British Museum where an exhibition of Egyptian antiquities was being held. As she viewed the artifacts, including an image of the Temple of Seti I, she became visibly excited. To the bewilderment of her parents, Dorothy insisted that she recognized the objects on display and repeatedly claimed that Egypt was her true home. Following the visit, Dorothy developed an intense fascination with ancient Egypt. She immersed herself in the study of pharaohs, temples, hieroglyphs, and Egyptian history, often declaring, "These are my people." Then, when she was just 6 years old, Dorothy saw a photograph of the Temple of Abydos in a magazine and immediately recognized it as her home in Egypt. She claimed some 3,000 years earlier she had been a priestess serving in the Temple of Seti I at Abydos. She even went so far as to claim that she had been the lover of Seti I himself. At the age of 14, Dorothy claimed that she began receiving nightly visitations from Seti I. Years later, she would elaborate on these experiences, recounting a story that she believed belonged to a previous life. According to Dorothy, she had once been a virgin priestess devoted to the goddess Isis. When King Seti I visited the temple, he noticed her, and the two began a secret affair. Their relationship eventually resulted in her becoming pregnant, a grave violation of the vows expected of an Isis priestess, and a scandal that could have brought disgrace upon the king. Faced with the consequences of her actions and determined to protect Seti from scandal, Dorothy claimed that her former self ultimately took her own life. In 1931, Dorothy, now an adult, finally fulfilled her lifelong dream of moving to Egypt. Upon arriving, she immediately knelt down, kissed the ground, and declared that she had come home to stay. She later married an Egyptian man and had a son, although the marriage did not last. Adopting the name Seti, meaning Mother of Seti, she eventually settled in Abydos, the very place she had long claimed to remember from a previous life. At Abydos, she worked as a researcher and a draftswoman at the Temple of Seti I, where her alleged past life was said to have unfolded. It was here that her remarkable knowledge of the temple began to astonish Egyptologists. Drawing on what she claimed were memories from her previous incarnation, Dorothy identified the location of gardens that she had insisted had once existed within the temple complex. Subsequent archaeological excavations appeared to confirm that such gardens had indeed been there. She also helped locate wall reliefs and features of the temple that had not yet been fully documented or explored. Whether the result of extraordinary intuition, extensive self-study, or something more mysterious, many Egyptologists were left struggling to explain how she possessed such detailed knowledge of the site. Seti would remain in Abydos for the rest of her life, dedicating herself to the study and preservation of the temple she believed she had once called home. She assisted with archaeological work at the site and also worked as a tour guide, becoming a well-known and respected figure among both locals and visiting scholars. Throughout the years, she maintained that she continued to receive regular visitations from King Seti I. According to Seti, these encounters provided guidance, companionship, and further insights into her alleged past life. Whether viewed as evidence of reincarnation, vivid personal belief, or something else entirely, her claims remained a source of fascination and controversy for the rest of her life. In April 1981, Dorothy Eady, better known as Seti, died at Abydos. She was 77 years old and was buried in an unmarked grave near the place she had spent much of her life studying and cherishing. Until the very end, Dorothy never wavered in her belief that she had once lived at the Temple of Abydos in a previous life. To her, the temple was far more than an ancient archaeological site. It was home. Whether her extraordinary claims were the result of reincarnation, an exceptional imagination, or something else entirely remains a matter of debate. Yet her story continues to captivate believers and skeptics alike, and remains one of the most famous and intriguing reincarnation cases ever recorded. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next episode of History in the Making.